Introduction of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, the process by which green plants and certain other organisms transform light energy into chemical energy. During photosynthesis in green plants, light energy is captured and used to convert water, carbon dioxide, and minerals into oxygen and energy-rich organic compounds. What is the main function of photosynthesis? The main function of photosynthesis is to allow plants to make their food by converting light energy from the sun into chemical energy.
Wow!
The manufactured food is utilized for survival by plants and other living things, including humans and animals. Who discovered photosynthesis in biology? John Eugenius. John Eugenius, born December 8, 1730, Breda, Netherlands, died September 7, 1799, Bowed, Wiltshire, England, Dutch-born British physician and scientist who is the best known for his discovery of the process of photosynthesis, by which green plants in sunlight absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Process of photosynthesis. In the light-dependent reactions, energy from sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll and that energy is converted into stored chemical energy. In the light-independent reaction, the chemical energy harvested during the light-dependent reaction drives the assembly of sugar molecules from carbon dioxide. Role of chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are endosymbiotic organelles derived from cyanobacteria. They have a double envelope membrane, including the outer envelope and the inner envelope. A complex membrane system, thylakoids, exists inside the chloroplast. It is the site of the light-dependent reaction of photosynthesis.
Factors affecting photosynthesis. These are several ways of measuring the rate of photosynthesis in the lab. These include the rate of oxygen output, the rate of carbon dioxide uptake, the rate of carbohydrate production, and these are not perfect methods as the plant will also be respiring, which will use up some oxygen and carbohydrate and increase carbon dioxide output. Several factors can affect the rate of photosynthesis. Light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, temperature, and the amount of chlorophyll also affects the rate of photosynthesis. Plants in lightning conditions unfavorable for photosynthesis may synthesize more chlorophyll to absorb the light required. The effects of some plant diseases affect the amount of chlorophyll and therefore the ability of a plant to photosynthesize. Light intensity. Without enough light, a plant cannot photosynthesize very quickly, even if there is plenty of water and carbon dioxide and a suitable temperature. Increasing the light intensity increases the rate of photosynthesis until some other factor, a limiting factor, becomes in short supply. Based in the diagram, at the low light intensities, an increase in the rate of photosynthesis is linear. And second diagram, at this point, a factor becomes limiting. And the third diagram, the graph levels off, the rate becomes constant. At very high light intensities, photosynthesis is slowed and then inhibited, but these light intensities do not occur in nature. Carbon dioxide concentration, carbon dioxide with water, is one of the reactants in photosynthesis. If the concentration of carbon dioxide is increased, the rate of photosynthesis will therefore increase. Again, at some point, a factor may become limiting. Graph showing that if the concentration of carbon dioxide is increased, the rate of photosynthesis will therefore increase. Temperature. The chemical reactions that combine carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose are controlled by enzymes. As with any other enzyme controlled reaction, the rate of photosynthesis is affected by temperature. At low temperatures, the rate of photosynthesis is limited by the number of molecular collisions between enzymes and substrates. At high temperatures, enzymes are denatured. A graph with rate of photosynthesis on the y-axis and carbon dioxide concentration on the x-axis. The plotted line rises steeply and then levels off to horizontal. During the step part, carbon dioxide is the limiting factor. During the horizontal part, another factor has become limiting: chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs the light energy required to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose. Chlorophyll is green, so absorbs the red and blue parts of the electromagnetic spectrum and reflects the green part of the spectrum. A diagram showing the cycle of chlorophyll. Leaves with more chlorophyll are better able to absorb the light required for photosynthesis. The compensation point. These graphs have been plotted with rate of photosynthesis against the factor against investigation. If oxygen production or carbon dioxide uptake is used as a measure of photosynthetic rate, the graphs are slightly different. The line does not go through the origin. This is because oxygen production and carbon dioxide uptake are affected by respiration, as well as photosynthesis. Respiration uses oxygen and produces carbon dioxide. Below is a graph measuring the rate of photosynthesis plotted on the carbon dioxide against light intensity. A graph showing the carbon dioxide uptake. This graph shows that with no light, the carbon dioxide uptake is below zero. Point A on the graph. With no light, there is no photosynthesis. So the rate of respiration is greater than the rate of photosynthesis. So this means there is an overall excess of carbon dioxide production. Rate of photosynthesis and temperature. The temperature increases and the photosynthesis also increases. Blue, green, and red parts of the spectrum that makes up white light. Blue light is absorbed, green light is reflected, and red light is absorbed. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is green because the green part of the spectrum is reflected. Carbon dioxide uptake. Arbitrary units. Light intensity. And A, plant is photosynthesizing and respiring. Rate of photosynthesis, rate of respiration, there is a net uptake of carbon dioxide. And B, compensation point. Rate of photosynthesis is equal to rate of respiration. And letter C, photosynthesis ceases. Letter D. Plant is respiring and photosynthesizing. Rate of respiration is greater than rate of photosynthesis. There is a net output of carbon dioxide. This graph shows that with no light, the carbon dioxide uptake is below zero. Point A on the graph. With no light, there is no photosynthesis. So the rate of respiration is greater than the rate of photosynthesis. So this means there is no overall excess of carbon dioxide produced during respiration. And excess is the same as a negative uptake. As the light intensity increases, the rate of photosynthesis follows. Point B on the graph. This means more carbon dioxide is being absorbed by the plant for photosynthesis. So this means more carbon dioxide uptake occurs. The graph shows this increase in carbon dioxide uptake. There will become a point when the rate of photosynthesis has increased to match this rate of respiration. This is called the compensation point. Point C on the graph. This is shown on the graph as the point the line crosses 0 on the x-axis. Beyond the compensation point, further increases in light intensity cause an increase in photosynthesis. This means the rate of photosynthesis increased beyond the rate of respiration. Point D. Now, more carbon dioxide is being taken in by the plant for photosynthesis than is produced by the plant during respiration. So, the carbon dioxide uptake increases. After a specific point, further increase in sunlight in light intensity gives smaller increases in photosynthesis. This results in the rate of carbon dioxide uptake slowing. Point E on graph. A similar graph will be obtained if oxygen production is plotted against light intensity. Photosynthesis is essential to all life on Earth. Both plants and animals depend on it. It is the only biological process that can capture energy that originates in outer space, sunlight, and convert it into chemical compounds, carbohydrates that every organism uses to power its metabolism. What are the environmental impacts of photosynthesis? Globally, photosynthesis results in the single largest flux of carbon dioxide, CO2, between the atmosphere and the biosphere. Long-term change in photosynthesis, for example in response to rising atmospheric CO2, could therefore provide an important feedback to climate change. Photosynthesis is when plants use sunlight to make food and oxygen. It's really important for life on Earth. Here are the main things to know. Changing energy. Photosynthesis changes sunlight into food for plants and oxygen for us to breathe. Making oxygen is the main way we get oxygen in the air. Taking in carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide from air, which helps to clean it. Making food. Plants use photosynthesis to make food for themselves, and other animals eat plants for food too. Helping the environment. Photosynthesis helps keep our planet healthy by making soil better, stopping erosion, and creating homes for animals. Looking nice. It's also why plants are green and pretty to look. They need sunlight to survive. So, photosynthesis is super important for all living things, and it's pretty amazing how plants can make their own food and give us oxygen to breathe. So, next time you see a plant or breathe in fresh air, Think about how amazing is it that photosynthesis keeps us alive and makes our world so beautiful.